I request our director sir to felicitate our guest with small token of appreciation. Mr.Anirban Ghosh has studied electrical engineering at Jabalpur University, Calcutta and has subsequently attended a fellow program in management at Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Mr. Ghosh began his career with the Albert Packer Division, Blue Star Limited in 1987 and moved to Modi Xerox in 1991. He joined the farm equipment sector Mahindra Limited in 1999 and has handled various portfolios in sales, marketing, strategy, new business development and has been the president of Mahindra Limited. Currently, he is the vice president for sustainability, corporate social responsibility and ethics in automotive and farm equipment sector of Mahindra. As the head of strategy for agriculture related business of Mahindra, he along with a colleague has authored a white paper on the key topic of water, soil and crop care and farm mechanization. Mr. Ghosh has been a member of Board of Association of Equipment Manufacturers. He enjoys listening to music, playing cricket and tennis and loves travel. I requested sir to address us. This topic is rural.
So what shall we talk about today? We'll talk about CSR. About future projects. A good start. Okay. So let me tell you a little of the kind of work I've done. And you have the freedom to ask questions from anywhere. And depending on what questions you ask, we will see what issues we will cover. And if I require a presentation, I'll use it. If I don't require a presentation, or if I don't have a presentation for that question of yours, I'll just talk to you. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
So, most of my work in Mahindra and in specifically in farm equipment.
Okay.
And having been in farm equipment all the while, I've had the opportunity to engage with rural India in many different ways and understand farmers, farming. Do any of you come from a farming background? No. Anyone's family has a farm anywhere? No. So where do you come from? Where is home? What do your parents do?
My uncle has a farm.
Your uncle has a farm?
Yeah.
Where is this?
He's in Uttar Pradesh.
In Uttar Pradesh?
Yeah.
Okay.
He used to do every crop, rabi and kharif crop group by tractors using offset, cultivators and different types of farming equipment.
Have you been on the farm?
Yes, I've been on the farm.
You've been on. Great. So maybe some of the things that I say will make sense to you. Alright. Anybody else with any kind of a farming background or exposure? Even if, so you've been on an exposure visit to Thailand. Did you guys go to Thailand or the second year of visit? You guys went to Thailand. So you've seen factories in Thailand but you haven't seen farms in India. Is that right? I see. Okay. That's interesting. That usually doesn't, I don't face that situation in business schools very often. There will always be some 10 or 12 people who come from a farming background. But that's fine. It's okay. So, done a lot of work with farmers of India and studied a lot of the rural industries because over time in Mahindra we've diversified from just being in farm equipment to being in micro irrigation and seeds and pesticides and grape farming and apple farming and roller tourism. And before we got into all of this, there were other studies done, mostly while I was heading strategy in the farm business. For a short while, we have this unit in the United States which sells tractors. So I used to head the unit in the United States for a short while. That was not so much farming. They use our tractors to cut grass because they have a lot of grass. And whereas in India, the tractors are not used to cut grass. They use same tractors are used for cultivation. Right. Having done work in sales, marketing and strategy, I am now looking at CSR and sustainability. CSR, all of you know what it is. So the only problem now is we are expected to do a lot of CSR. And how much blood donation we need to do. And how much philanthropy they can do. So the challenge is, how do you do CSR in a way in which society benefits, but there is a positive spin-off for the business. If you do good CSR, there is always a positive spin-off for the business. You don't have to worry about it. It automatically happens. So the challenge is to find areas of work which we are good at doing, which we understand as a farm equipment company or an automotive company. And this assignment of mine in sustainability and CSR spans both the automotive sector and the farm sector. So the kind of projects we take on comes from both businesses. Right. So in a nutshell, that's what I've done. Before coming to Mahindra, I worked in the computer industry, photocopiers, but that's a long time ago. And whatever little I knew about the industry must have completely changed. So I don't think I know too many contemporary things. So that's about me. And given this background of me, what I would like to do now with you is to ask you, what would you want to know about farmers, farming, rural India, business in India, working in the corporate? You could just span any of these topics. And we'll put the questions down and then we'll deal with it one by one. Is that okay? Alright, shoot. So I need someone to write the questions down. If there is a pen and that question, or will you write it? Good. So let's see how quickly you can fill up the board. What questions? Any question? Who's going to ask you? What do you want to know? What do you want me to talk to you about? So somebody started with a question. Let's write that down. Did you have a question? After you got your question. Any more? You have to write it.
Amir, CSR means लिखना question mark आसमें CSR means consumer upliftment or a business hike. Consumer societal / societal upliftment. Or just societal upliftment, or just a business hike. Question mark.
Do CSR and sustainability go hand in hand? Okay, Amir.
Now CSR is very compulsory as per the law. So what will be the impact of this provision?
Impact of provision for CSR. 2%.
What activities Mahindra has applied for CSR?
What is that?
Activities applied by Mahindra for CSR.
First.
Marketing strategy of Mahindra.
Mahindra and Mahindra. Mahindra and Mahindra. Core competency in technology. Technology or finance. Cash में banking license.
You have two here.
What opportunity for fresher in current market? What are the opportunities for freshers?
Amit.
बोर्ड भर गया बोल
How customers relationship management works in IIM? CRM, customer relationship management.
activity applied by management for CSR. Where always a terrace and terrace we accumulate that water in that and we pour that there's some system through which we can pour that into our ground and we can use it for
rainwater harvesting.
Rainwater harvest.
Circulation of rainwater directly into the ground through use of a artificial method known as watershed.
Yes and no. So rainwater harvesting is typically what you would do, say, in this building or in this campus. If you had to do it over all of Thane, then it's much larger than rainwater harvesting. And you can't possibly collect the water on the roofs of various buildings and put it into the ground. There is lots more water than that. So technically, watershed is defined as, there is, actually if you look around when you're traveling in a train, or you're traveling on the road, you will see that there are ridges or hills in the distance. And typically, the land is made up of a ridge like this, and then another ridge like this, and another ridge like this. So there are many, many such watersheds. And within the ridge there will be a valley. And from the valley, typically there is one outlet for the water. Typically, there are always exceptions. So that's the definition of a watershed. So the picture you see over there, you have a ridge, you have streams of water flowing down, all of it exits the watershed through one place. And within this area, especially when you are looking at all of Thane or all of any large district, there are a lot of activities, most of which is Thane activities. Now I don't know if you know, of all the water that is available, how much do you think gets used for farming and how much gets used by us in our houses or in factories? Would you have an idea of how much gets used for farming? If you don't have an idea, take a guess.
Nearly about
50?
70%.
70? बोली लग रही, बोलो 40, फिर 50, 70, 40, 60, हाँ 90, और इससे ज़्यादा 20. So let's take two extreme numbers and have a conversation. So why do you think it's 20? Can you hear her? So you'll have to
That why I said 20% is contribution, because nowadays the people are so busy that they are not thinking of such kind of environmental which is good for us. They are not trying to preserve all such kind of things and not getting involved in that. So I just
So 20% is the water you think it gets used for farming. And why are you saying 90? That was a nice number, nobody else said 90. People were going on the lower side, so I went on the higher side. Any of you have a reason why you said 60 or 70?
Because the
It is the primary occupation. That's why 40% of the water
Will be used for because it's primary.
more the rural population are depending on the farming. That's why more of the water is in farming. So that's why I said 50% using.
So you see. So good logic there.
India is known for agricultural land, and most of the Indians are known for agriculture. So agriculture is the primary aspect of the business.
Correct. So what's your number?
60%.
60. Very good. So while all the logic is correct, the number is closer to 90%. Somewhere between 80 and 90% of all the water that we get in India gets used in agriculture. And somewhere between say 10 and 20% of all the water gets used by everything else. So we get water used by us in our homes, water used by factories, water used in municipal corporations, anywhere. You put it all together, it is all less than 20%. Right? So the large majority of water gets used in agriculture. And that's why every time we have a bad monsoon, people say, oh, now what will happen? Because now food will not grow, now this will not happen, that will not happen, and we will all get into trouble. Right? And that's why the monsoons are so very important for the country. Alright. Now, in a watershed, especially in places away from cities, there is a lot of farming. And farming needs a lot of water. So when the rain falls, the water must be available for farming. If it is not available for farming, then what's the point? Right? Now you might even ask the question, if the rain is falling, then it will be available for farming. What's the big deal? Why do we have to think so much about it? What do you think happens to the water that comes to us as rainfall? Storage problem happens. What happens to the water? Where does it go?
So it goes to the
It
drainage.
gets absorbed in the soil,
It gets evaporated by
it gets evaporated by the sun,
and mixing the seawater.
it goes to the ocean. So, some goes to the ocean, some gets evaporated, some goes into the soil. Anything else? Some contamination happens. So, how much of water do you think evaporates? Evaporation, there is another very important thing that happens. The water is sucked in by the trees. Yeah, and then some of you guys studied science, water.
Yes.
And you know there's something called transpiration.
Yes.
So the trees also let water vapor out into the air. Now how much of water do you think goes away through evaporation and transpiration? Let's play the game again. 50%.
50%.
Now you know I will pick up the lowest one and the highest one. So everyone will tell you the same number. Huh? So, any other guesses other than 50? So there have been two big studies. One said 40% of the water is lost by evaporation and transpiration. Another one said 60% of the water is lost by evaporation and transpiration. So he is bang in the middle. Right? He is on the average. Now, as you can see, most of the water that comes to us as rainfall